Rightio guys, welcome to the Biker Bits Garage where we try and fix our own motorcycles. I've got Hal here, a postie bike, 2010 Honda CT110. You might have seen the video that I did of the rebuild of the carby, and it fires up really great. It's just not holding its rev.
Yeah, it hangs on, goes up high,
Yep.
and then it'll drop down by itself.
Yeah.
Which is indication of a float or one of the circuits of the channels through the carbies.
Yeah.
Got a bit of the dirt in it, inside it.
So,
We
yeah.
need to address that.
Yeah, so that's a mistake of my part when I did all the cleaning and I put it all back and I did it all right. The one thing I didn't do was get an air compressor gun and blow all the orifices.
Circuits, they're known
all
as.
the circuits, technically speaking, out. So that's going to be one of the jobs that we're going to do.
Absolutely. Yep.
Cool. So you're just saying, hang on.
Process of just checking out. It's obvious that Tango's carby is flooding because the slide's very wet, which isn't a normal circumstance. And also you're looking in near the choke area. Yeah, it's full of fuel, so that needs to be looked at. It's obvious maybe the needle, the float needle. It's got all the new parts in it. Also we're going to define that all the jets and needle all correct numbers compared to the original parts that were in the bike.
Yep.
So yeah.
Cool bananas.
Just process elimination and get it all sorted.
Brilliant.
Sounds good.
A tip from the pros, that's a 6mm bolt going into a 6mm hose. That's how you block it off. Look at that. Bloody ripper. Righto, so we're now taking the carby off, is that right?
Correct. Air cleaner's already off.
So you've said we got to do some blowing through the pipes that lead to the tank.
Yeah, these fuel lines that I've done,
Yep.
we're going to put some air into it. Take the fuel cap off, just to see if there's any blockages or making sure they're all clear. Because if we take these bolts out, have you topped up
No, I haven't.
Tango?
No.
So that's the main line
Yep.
in, and that's the reserve line, because inside the tank there's a pipe that sits lower,
Yep.
and you see fuel coming out. Tango's a bit low on fuel, I think.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, well, he is low actually.
Yep.
Oh, he's really low.
So that's good for doing the blowout anyhow, Mark.
Yeah. Righto, so we'll get this carby off and come back to you guys.
There's no way it's 20 mils.
So what Hal's doing there is measuring the
Checking the float level.
float level. So you're saying, as a general rule, that float level here
Yep.
should be at the same plane as that there.
It's a carburetor
And
housing.
Yeah, and it's actually sitting
A bit low.
a bit low. It should be up a little bit. But we're going to check the service manual. And he's actually got a special little tool here for doing the checking.
But the other little trick, yeah, you can see even on the needle,
Yeah.
which stops the fuel from coming in and out, and you know that's needs to be cleaned up. You can see a little ring around that,
Yeah.
and this needle is made of carbon. A lot of people think they're rubber, but they're not. They're a carbon, and it shouldn't have that ring. And that's, you can see how that ring goes not all the way around. That means that fuel's getting passed. That's what's causing that flooding.
Ah, and that's a brand new bloody
Yeah, it's
one.
a brand new one. But you
Yeah.
look at this one, the original one. is a bit blacker, but it didn't even have that on it, because basically this has been in the carburetor. The original one's been in the carburetor from new, and there's virtually like an old married pair. They're married up to one another.
Yeah, right.
Compared to the new one, which, yeah, it's got to do a bit of catch up. So to clean these tips, you've got to use proper carby cleaner, aerosol carby cleaner. Don't use brake cleaner.
Cool, Bajul. All right, I'll get the service manual.
Yep.
So Hal's just blowing out all those bits and pieces. So Hal was just saying, so this new, that's the thing that goes in the
needle.
The
Yep.
needle for the float.
Float needle.
That little carbon tip, the new one that we put it out, had a ring around it. And apparently it must be something, what, you reckon, a new process that they do at from the old days?
Well, that little tip is made out of carbon. And
Yep.
just in the factory, when they make the kit and bring the kit out here, they put a solution on it, and that solution will cause it to not seal correctly in the carburetor.
Yeah.
So we just had to clean that off with carby cleaner. And you saw the dirt that came off that.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so the old one didn't have that ring around it.
Yep.
We've now removed that ring by obviously cleaning it, and hopefully,
Yep. Also, we checked the idle jet, that it was correct. It should be a 38, and the new one is a 38.
Yep.
Just a bit of the process elimination. The old main jet was at 72, and the new main jet is a 72. So all that is spot on.
Yeah.
And I just think
all
it was
the orifices have been blown. You haven't found anything obvious apart from that one.
Yeah, that one item. Maybe the float level looks to be a bit low, but these are a full nylon float.
Yep.
Also, you shake the float like this to see if you can hear
Oh,
any fluid. If it's got getting fluid inside, petrol inside the float, which will alter the float level again. But this float's fine. There's no. It's a full sealed unit. But they used to be made out of brass, earlier models, but this is one piece nylon, and yeah, it's non-adjustable. You can't adjust it. Maybe I'll push that tag down a little bit, but you could break it.
Yeah.
So it's non-adjustable. So it's preset.
Cool. So what do we do now? We just put it all back together.
Put it back together and
see what happens.
fingers crossed.
All right, guys, we'll come back to you. All right, all things are cleaned, blown out, checked.
Double checked.
Yeah.
Triple checked.
The filter, which was really dirty and full of shit when I first did it, has remained clean. So that's one good thing. So hopefully we'll get it all back together and start her up, and it'll be sweet, or there will still be a problem. So guys, it looks like we've got a winner. Hal has done the trick. He's now just doing a bit of fine tuning of the bloody idle stuff. Rightio guys, Hal has done the magic. Hal, you've got to come and do it. It's a new bloody bike. So I used to try and start it, you'd have to kick it and do that, and now...
Like that, you should, no throttle.
Hey?
Cool.
Put it there, bud. Bloody brilliant. That is bloody amazing. Rightio, so just to finish this video off, so what are we saying? The main culprit?
The main culprit was the float level needle.
That tiny, you would have seen us, I can't get the bloody thing out. This tiny little thing, Hal was saying about it has a coating on it and it had a ring on it.
And it wasn't sealing.
Correct.
It would seal and then not seal, so the float level was inconsistent.
Yeah.
So it was
And then it was
flooding and then picking
catching
up
up.
its rev and then catching up. there was still a little bit of dirt. Also, we blew out all the circuit chambers
Yeah.
both ways,
Yeah.
and then put carby cleaner for it, and then blew all that out.
Yeah.
So just making the integrity of all the parts you put in and the carburettor being spot on.
So lesson for me is that you don't just get the carby, clean it, put the new stuff in. Obviously, we've checked
check it.
We checked to make sure all the needles and the numbers were all matched up.
Integrity's all there. They're all matched
Yep.
up. They're all correct.
Blow the holes out, or the circuits as you call
Circuits. Yep.
them. Blow all those out. And then on that float needle, make sure you wipe off whatever coating is there from the factory.
on that little. It's a carbon tip
Yep.
on it, and they put a coating on it. Make sure you clean that off before you install it.
Saw it because
Yeah.
I won't see.
Yep.
Bloody ripper.
All right.
Righto, guys, there you go. Remember, keep on riding, and if you ain't riding, keep on keeping on.